I recently got a chance to talk to James Martin, or as he's known on Instagram, Made.By.James. On Instagram, he has 224,000 followers, which is crazy, but it doesn't really come as that much of a surprise when you know he's been in the business of logo design and brand identity for 15 years. He actually just put out a book, which I can't wait to get myself. I'm currently waiting for it. Go ahead and post a link for him. He's such an awesome guy and a huge inspiration for me. I've been following him on Instagram for a few years now, and I was just super thrilled when he gave me a shot at talking to him and interviewing him. So go ahead and subscribe if you want to check out that interview. Make sure to hit that notification bell to get an alert when that video is up. I was checking out his YouTube channel and I realized he talks a lot about productivity, habit forming, and things to help out with creative block. He talks about burnout as well. So one of the main takeaways I got from his channel was how important habit forming is. You know, you hear it all the time, but it really has to be stressed. It's super important, and it's something that maybe you know you're supposed to do, but you never get to it. Like, you know, you're supposed to go to the gym and you just can't. Don't bring yourself to do it. Well, I personally don't. So one of the things he mentioned about habit forming is specifically knowing when is the time that you're the most productive. So there's actually a lot of studies on this, specifically talking about how between 8 a.m. and noon are the most productive time of the day for most people. But of course, it's very important to know yourself and to know when your brain is turned on the most, when you're ready to go, and you're in a good mood and in a good place mentally, and a good place to work, and you want to knock out the most important tasks at that time. So one of the mistakes that I was making when I first started getting really into creative work was trying to juggle emails and my actual creative work. And so the creative work like video editing or shot listing, etc., they have actual timelines, and I was finding myself struggling and bumping right up to those timelines. And I think that a huge thing for me that kind of helped me get around that was no longer focusing the time when I'm most productive in my day to things that take up energy but don't advance my goals that have those timelines. That have those deadlines. So a time that I am most productive in my day, it comes in bursts. I think creatively, for ideas, I'm definitely a night owl, but when it comes to actually getting work done, like editing, definitely 8 a.m. to noon is totally accurate for me. And I was finding that the first thing that I would do every morning was check my emails and knock out those things. And I always told myself, you know, I'm just gonna knock out all those things so that way I have no more clutter and no more phone calls or emails coming through the rest of the day, and I can just focus on editing. Well, that's actually a huge mistake, because by the time I was done going through all my emails and logging receipts, logging, you know, whatever it is that I needed to do paperwork wise, I was burnt out. I was ready to grab lunch. I was ready to hang out with my dogs if I'm working from home. And if I'm out on a job, I'm ready to, you know, explore, call up somebody. Yeah, afternoon is definitely a harder time to get through those things. It's when I want to be more social, which was actually a better time to answer emails. As soon as I switched to editing between 8 a.m. to noon, then making that the very first thing I do in my day, I noticed I got so much further ahead, because those emails are going to be there, and you know, I'll be able to get to those and answer those. But when it comes to getting in the zone and editing, you know, if that's the very first thing I do, that works the best for me. So I think it's important to know what are your blocks of time that you normally work. Definitely focus on your biggest thing that you have to do at the start of the day. And for me, that's editing. So when I heard James actually say that he does the same thing, I was like, yes, that's great advice. And I would definitely want to pass that along. Another thing that I noticed he talked about was burnout. When it comes to productivity, deadlines are super helpful, but they're supposed to be there to be helpful and to be to hold yourself accountable, and as a good way for everybody else to plan their steps. So, you know, as soon as you turn something into the client, they have to then move that over to their marketing team or their social media manager, or etc. So having those deadlines is crucial to be able to form a schedule around a marketing plan, or around a music video release, or whatever it is that you're working on. You know, whatever creative work you're doing, people want to know the deadlines because they want to plan around that as well. So I think that it's really frustrating for clients and for anybody in charge of you, etc., to be expecting something at a certain time and not having it turned in. So actually, like I said, deadlines are supposed to be there to help. And if you are assigning yourself or saying yes to deadlines that are just, you know, almost impossible or really difficult to hit, or, you know, you've done it in the past but it took a lot of work, or you had to work overnight, then that's not the right deadline. The right deadline should only include your actual work hours. You know, you need to make time for yourself. That's another part of the whole habit forming schedule for productivity, is allowing time for yourself, allowing your brain time for rest and reset. It should not be worn as a badge of honor to go around saying that, you know, you've worked 16 hours, 18 hours. Well, the reason they keep giving you those deadlines and holding you up to these expectations is because you keep doing it and you keep delivering. And although that seems great, it's not sustainable. So it's definitely important to be able to say no to a deadline, or give a suggestion of when a more realistic deadline would be possible. And people overall are usually really respectful of that and understanding, and nobody wants a burnt out employee or a burnt out creative that they're hiring.
Hey Goop, what's up? Cool binder.
Hey Goop, wanna come over to my house today?
They all hated me.
People want things done as soon as possible, and they want it done well. So that's definitely a big factor in being able to negotiate those deadlines, is I can turn in my best work at this much time. So third and pretty easy tip on productivity that James hits on, that I also found that I did myself, which is making sure you have a clean workspace at the end of the day. That's the very last thing you do, is clean up that workspace, tidy it up, you know, put your folders, pens, headphones, things where they need to go, wrap up those cables. It's awesome coming in every morning and seeing a clean workspace. You got no clutter, so your mind feels less cluttered, and you're able to just start every day fresh and get to work. And I think that that's a very huge and super easy tip that anybody can try. So a final tip that James gives is going for a walk. And for you, it might be easier to find another casual leisure exercise in another way. But I definitely found that I unknowingly actually started going for walks every day, because I got a dog. I got 2 dogs now, and going on those walks is incredibly refreshing, especially in the middle of a work day, or like I said, after the most productive time of the day when you pump out the most work. That's a great time to take a quick 15 or 30 minute walk and clear your mind and start fresh. It'll definitely give you back more energy to keep going through the day and have a positive attitude if you're joining meetings, etc. Definitely finding a time for a quick 30-minute walk, whether that be at the start of the day or at the end of the day, is something that is invaluable to me, and I love, you know, try to be as consistent about it as possible. And I love when I do get a chance to keep that habit up. The only time I don't is because obviously I travel a lot for work. So, but even then, I'm gonna try to. I'm actually gonna go for a walk here in a second to go grab some food. I have to stress though that when you do find a little bit of time for yourself, this is something that definitely my girlfriend helped me out a lot on. But put your phone away or turn it off. Actually, don't even take it with you on those walks. It really should be just about clearing your mind and enjoying some fresh air. And you don't need to have a dog to do this. You can definitely just take a walk by yourself. Just be safe. Anyways, y'all, I'm so stoked to be able to talk to James and to be able to share that with y'all. So if you want to see that conversation with this awesome creative guru, definitely hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, and I'll see you here next week.